1 week out for the Monctonian tournament and just less than a month away from the holidays. The Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League is back in full swing with 2 games across the network tonight on High Button Sports. My name is Dayton Camo, welcoming you back inside the Kings Mutual Century Center, better known as the Apple Dome here in Berwick, Nova Scotia, for a Friday night matchup between the visiting Basin Armada and the Valley Wildcats. Starting in net tonight for the visiting Armada, number 30, Austin Pickram. And on the other end of the ice for the Wildcats, number 29, Jaron Maxwell. Referees will skate the center ice. We're just about underway here from Berwick. A bunch of other games across the network as well. The U18 Maritime Major Girls Hockey League having their showcase over in PEI, and a couple of other games across High Button as well in Halifax. Tune in all over the place, but make sure you're here in Berwick as well. We're underway. This one gets played to center. That's Austin Robichaud, the U15 Bage Valley Wildcats call up here tonight. There's 2 of them in the lineup, Austin Robichaud and Rowan Lonergan, making their way up to the U16 league with the big boys tonight. And now this one gets sent far side into the corner. Lonergan unable to take that one. The 2 APs out here on the line tonight, starting things off with Jack Terrace. Now the other way, here comes Van Polgis. The shot comes in, another save from Maxwell off the shot from Creighton. And now this one gets put back up the wall, down into the defensive zone. Josh Cameron there to pick it up for the Wildcats, and Cameron will headman a pass out of the reach of Zach Banks, and this one will go for the icing just under a minute into this one. Maidment and Banks on the draw to the right of Jaron Maxwell. Tied up off the draw. It's won by the Armada, sent cross ice at the point. Lyndon Todd picks that up, sends it deep. He gets bumped there on the half wall by Josh Cameron. Now it's away for the Wildcats. That was Pearl working in, had it stripped, and now it's back to Banks at center. He'll send it right back in behind Austin Pickram. Now Pearl chops at that one. He's got it behind the net, makes a move off the backside of the net. He gets sent to the point. Ringette sends a low, hard snapper in, and it's corralled over to the boards, but not out. And now Terrace trying to work his way in. Made a nifty little move there to the backhand, but it's no good. Now it's down the right side. Fougere sends it in. Stoddard picks it up down low. He gets bumped, and now Ringette in the corner. As time tries to send one cross ice, gets knocked away off a skate. Now it's back to him. Jackson Ringette, cross ice to Stoddard. Now Stoddard goes back around the wall. McRae picks it up. He tries to chip this one out. Gets held in at the line. And now it's finally out to center, back into the Armada zone. McNeil off the wall, gets coughed up and picked back up by O'Leary, but this one went off something in the bench, so we'll get a whistle here. Like I was saying earlier, folks, the Mats and South Shore Mustangs also on tap here tonight, along with the Fundy Thunder and Moncton Thunderbirds, and some Junior B action. The Windsor Oxen in East Hants visiting the Penguins tonight. As this puck gets put out to center, Troop will play it up the far side wall. McNeil gathers it up, plays it back to Makinen. Now a tumble at the blue line. This one's picked up. It's 2 away for the Wildcats. A shot comes in. That one's over the net, high and wide. Now it's back to the point. This one gets sent in behind the net. Now O'Leary picks it up for the Bandits. He's going to take a look. He gets bumped on the near side. And this gets sent back down into the Armada zone. Makinen going to make a drive up the ice here. His shot off the pad area of Maxwell, able to keep this one out. Now it's up the far side. It's dumped into the corner. Terrace, first one on it. Now Robichaud back to the point to Cameron. Cameron shot, tipped in front, and now a glove save by Austin Pickram. Heard some cheers down below me. Everybody in this arena thought it might have been in, but Pickram able to flash the leather. 16-15 here to go in the first period. Shots all even at 2. Terrace will work in on the draw with Joel Hakala. Players working in too close to the linesman's liking. Now it's back to the point. Ringette will send it in. A shot from Robichaud goes off a skate. Lonergan has it tied up in his feet. He gets moved over to the boards, and Hakala will take care of him. Now it's back down to Terrace. And Terrace will send it down to Chisholm, who picks it up for the Bandits across to Ald. Ald will send this one to center ice from Ringette. Content to send this one right back in. Now up the middle, Hakala had this one off a skate, unable to collect it cleanly. Now it's right back down to Chisholm. Chisholm plays it across. Now it's up the wall, pinched off, and away go the Wildcats. Banks works in, sends a shot through a nice little shot along the ice, trying to fool the goaltender there. Now Chisholm picks it back up behind the net. He's got Ketty and Pearl pressuring down there in the corner. Now Van Polge sends it back around to Chisholm. Now it's back down behind the net one more time. Chisholm trying to put it high off the glass. That one doesn't go. Now this one will finally get back out to center ice. Pearl plays it across, and a quick regroup there for the Wildcats. Sent up to Terrace, but taken away from the Bandits on the near side. Now Terrace on it in the corner. Down low, stops up. He's got 3 Bandits on him, makes a move, working out from the corner. Jack Terrace to the net. And this one didn't go, but Gosling gets to regroup at the point, and they'll send it in. Now McCray in the corner, working down there. But it's going to be brought back out the ice into center. Now a shot on, that one blocked. Now a chance for McNeil. McNeil's shot blocked in front off the backside of the pant leg of Stoddard. Now McCray on the half wall, getting worked there by Van Polge. Now a shot from Todd, works in. Maxwell able to corral it, but the rebound is loose. Now Maidman in the corner. He's getting pinned to the wall there by a couple of Wildcats. Now this one gets sent to the line. Todd, they'll pick it up, chip it back to the red line, but it's picked up by Breen. Breen gets bumped. He'll pick up the loose puck on the half wall, stop, make a move, and now it's sent in by Gosling. Etheridge in the corner. Now up the half wall. It's sent to center, and now a battle along the wall. Finally won by the Wildcats. Nickerson will send it to center, taken away by Aaron, and now it's back to McNeil. Tried to send one across to Todd. It's out of his reach. Now it's up the wall. Fougere into the slot. Tried to find Aaron. Now back to the slot. Maidman dropped it for Makinen, who sends it down the wall, but it's taken away by Blandon. Makinen. He'll try and take the ice he's got. Now a stretch pass. That one just out of the reach. Now it's down deep. Troop picking it up in the corner, but now it's onto the stick of a Bandits forward. They'll send it back out. And now the Wildcats regrouping. Lonergan had that one go off the heel of his stick. McCray picks up the loose puck in the defensive zone up the wall. And now Chisholm regrouping down low for the Armada. He's got McCray all over him. Now in goes Lonergan. Out come the Armada on the attack. They'll send one up. This one gets back to Chisholm. Chisholm to Todd. Todd sends one just over the blue line and into the zone. Robichaud had that one poked off his stick. Now Cameron. Now a quick wrap job. That one from Chisholm down below. Now Lonergan sends it out to the bench. It's glove down. And we'll get a stoppage of play. 10:54 here left to go in the first period. We got some offense flowing on both sides. Shots 5-3 in favor of the Armada so far here tonight. And on the draw, it'll be Zach Banks and Joel Hakala. Hakala sends Surratt in to take the draw. And Surratt loses that one. It's around to Pearl. Pearl sends it up the wall to Ketty. Ketty will send it in. Banks in the corner. He stops up, gets control of it with Thompson all over him. Now Hakala in through neutral ice. Makes a nice move there. Now sends it in. Gambin takes a hit along the back wall. Now Pearl trying to make a move and take some space. He gets cut off around the far side corner, and now it's back to neutral ice. Ringette able to get a touch on that one, so it's back for Gambin. He gets stripped, and now Surratt in front, drops to the point to McNeil. Back down to Surratt. In front, a tip. And that one's saved by Maxwell with Pearl. Breaking away for the Wildcats. He'll get the red line and dump it in deep. And he's first on it. Now Hakala finds a man through center. That's Van Polgeest. Terrace mishandled that pass. Now it's out to center. Terrace has it stripped by McNeil. Now McCray back for the Wildcats. He tries to leave it there, but Creighton's all over him. Now this one gets to the point. Bungay with a shot through. He fanned on that one. Now it's back to Bungay at the point. He's unable to keep this one in. He's got McCray all over him. He chips it back. Now Van Polgeest through center. And that one worked in offside. We'll get a whistle right outside the Wildcats line with 9:10 to go here in the first period. We thank you for tuning in to High Button Sports on this Friday night. A draw won there by the Armada, sent in behind Jaron Maxwell. Now gets to the point, thrown on net. This one gets tipped behind the net. Van Polgeest tried to find a man in front. That one just wide of the net. This one chipped to center. A couple of Wildcats on it. It's McCray. Tries to run Todd into the boards. He just missed his check, and now a chance away too. And this one's turned aside by Maxwell. DeBay had Fougere wide open. Or Creighton, excuse me. And Maxwell shuts the door point blank. So we'll work in a draw to the right of Jaron Maxwell. That one's won by Maidman. Back to the point. Neckerson pushes his man out of the zone and offside. The Bandits will have to reset, but now it's back the length of the ice. Thompson behind the net. He picks it up, sends it up the wall to Fougere. Now a big hit from Nickerson. Now 2 big bumps from Braden Nickerson. Definitely don't want to run into number 9 in red. So we'll get a face-off right back here to the left of Austin Pickram. Nickerson on the draw for the Wildcats, but it's won by Maidman. And now it's out to center. 3 Bandits away. Maidman working in, and that shot off the woodwork. And Maxwell able to clean up the garbage on the rebound. Oh my goodness, what a chance there for Maidman. So the line of Terrace, Robichaud, and Lonergan back out here for the Wildcats. Maidman wins that draw again. He's been clean on these face-offs here early tonight as this puck goes into the bench. We'll get another face-off here to the left of Maxwell. Now the face-off one by the Wildcats. A quick breakout chance here. Lonergan has Robichaud straightened through the middle, but he elects to dump it in right on to Pickram. Pickram will hold on, and we'll get a face-off down in the Armada end. .7:41 remaining here in the first period. Wildcats making a change offensively. Banks and O'Leary on the draw. That one back by O'Leary to Mackinnon. And he's pressured down there in the corner by Zach Banks. Now Mackinnon trying to make a move out dangerously close to his net, but he gets it done. Now it's back out to center ice. Mackinnon back in the corner, chips one over to Bungay. Bungay up the wall, but it's met there by Peyton Ketty. Now a chance in front. This one gets to Pearl. He leaves it there, and Gosling sends his man to the ice. Now the puck going back to Gosling's side. He chips it up offside for the Armada. They'll have to touch up. Now a chip pass up the wall to Troop. Troop through the neutral ice. It'll get sent back down into the Armada zone. Thompson leaves it there, and Todd sends a stretch pass down the ice. This one will go the length, and we'll get an icing call. 6:30 to go here in the first period. Shots 8-4 in favor of the Armada, but neither team able to solve the goaltenders here tonight. O'Leary wins this draw around the wall. Chisholm chips that one, and Terrace plays it back quick up for Gosling. He had that one knocked away. Now Thompson back behind the net with pressure. He's got one hand on the stick, knocks it up the wall, picked up by McRae, and he'll send it back down into the corner. Now Todd looking for a little bit of assistance down in the defensive zone. He's got a man working all over him. That's Jack Terrace. Now a shot coming in. Maxwell able to glove that one up, and he leaves it there for Gosling. Gosling will send one to McRae, who hits Terrace. Jack Terrace working up. Tries to drop for Breen, but it's out of his reach. Now Breen pressuring down low. Now to the half wall. Armada with possession. It gets thrown cross ice for Todd, but this one's picked up by Alt. He leaves it for Thompson. Thompson head man up the wall, but Chipped out of the reach. Now Hakala back on it in the corner. To the front of the net. This one tipped just wide, and it's up into the netting. A great chance there by Hakala trying to find a man in front of the net for the tip. Hakala and Nickerson on the draw. Hakala wins it back. McNeil. He worked in and had that stripped from him. Now it's Mackinnon. He's the last man back. A quick pass that was spun off the toe of the stick of Madden Blandon. And now Etheridge comes in to help out. Etheridge still in there giving bumps either way. Now Blandon gives a shot and a penalty coming here for the Wildcats. Now back to the point. It's touched up, and we'll see what the calls are here. Is Etheridge is still, that's Blandon. Madden Blandon still in there giving shots. He'll make his way to the box. And it looks like so far that will be the only call. A headshot. So head contact penalty to Madden Blandon. Only a 2-minute minor. Sounds like we've got a dog in the building tonight. So the Bandits, or the Armada, on the power play. Hakala sends a shot through. That one just wide. Now DeBay sends it back down to the corner to Fougere. Fougere back to DeBay. To Hakala on the half wall, back up to Mackinnon. Mackinnon shot through over the net. Just high and wide, a rebound in front. They score. Fougere knocks home that point shot from Mackinnon. And the Basin Armada take the early lead here at the Appledome. Wildcats win the draw, and it's up the wall. Chipped off the stick of Robichaud. He's getting tied up. A battle along that wall down there. Now Lonergan and Robichaud out there with Cameron McCrae. So a little bit of line juggling here as the two players from the U15 team trying to find a little bit of chemistry here tonight. Now Stoddard plays one up the wall. Now a big bump in the corner on McCrae to DeBay. Now McCrae tries to send one in. Picked up by Thompson. Now Lonergan collects the puck, sends it to center ice, but it's on the stick of Creighton. Creighton pressured there by Robichaud, and Robichaud put a bump on him. Now Thompson working to the line. He'll get the line, but it's offside. Worked in just ahead of DeBay on the far side. Now a face-off will come to the outside of the Wildcats line. Shots 10-5 in favor of the Armada. 3:12 to go here in the first frame. Now Troop plays one up the wall. It's onto the stick of Todd, and now Aaron sends one up. It's Maidman working in, and he had that one knocked off his stick. Now Ketty down the near side. Stops up, and now Pearl sends a shot on. That one just wide, looking for a tip in front. Back to the point. That one's fanned on, and now left for Aaron. Drop for Fougere. Fougere tried to center one, but Gosling sends it back up the wall. Ketty has it. He's got time, but now Fougere sends him into the wall. A little bit of an awkward hit. Some of the Wildcats players and coaches saying it was on the numbers. Now Troop makes a dangerous play with that one right at the Wildcats line. Maidman will send one deep for Gosling to corral for the Wildcats. It's back out to the point, and Bungay will do the same. Sends it right back in. Troop picks it up for the Cats. Now it's up the wall. O'Leary to center. Tries to make a move on Cameron. Cameron gets the best of him. Now O'Leary picks it up. To the point. Mackinnon shot blocked. Now Breen chips it right back to the point. Mackinnon has some time. He's going to walk in and score. Cooper Mackinnon all over the place in this one. An assist, and now he's got himself on the score sheet with a goal. It's 2-0 for the Armada. O'Leary and Nickerson on the draw. Nickerson wins it, and it's up the wall to Blandon. Now in the corner, McNeil, he's tied up, but he's able to send it up the wall to Chisholm, and he'll chip that, but Cameron picks it back up. Looking for an option, he'll send it deep with just over 60 seconds left in this first frame. Now it's up on the far side. Cameron tried to send a bump into his man. That was a quick play there for the Armada, and now they're trying to get something mustered up offensively. 45 to go. McNeil tries to hit Chisholm. It's out of his reach. Now back to Cameron. Cameron up the wall to McNeil. Now Mackinnon throws one through center. Intercepted by Terrace, and he's away. Jack Terrace sends a shot through, scores! Jack Terrace says, hold up, we're not done yet. 26 seconds left, and he goes bar down, and the Wildcats have got themselves on the board. So the Wildcats win that draw. Lonergan and Robichaud back out here with Terrace to end this period off. Now Thompson making a move. He gets that one poked off him. Good thing Bungay was there as the last man back, able to pick up that mess. And now Lonergan getting bumped over there by Surrett. The Robichaud works in. Now it's Hakala. Sends one to the near side, and that'll do it here for the first frame. 2-1, the Basin Armada lead the Valley Wildcats here on High Button Sports. An exciting first period. We hope to see you back for the second right after this.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross and Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross and Sons, scrap metal made simple.
All right, we're back and ready to go here on High Button Sports. The second period of play, between the Basin Armada and the Valley Wildcats. The Armada jumping out to a quick 2-0 lead in the first period, but Jack Terrace with 26 seconds left on the clock got the Wildcats on the board. So we're back to see what the second period has in store here on High Button. The Wildcats win the draw, and McRae goes down to the ice off the draw. No call, and it's down into the corner for Terrace. Terrace, McRae, and Gambin out here. Or Breen, and a shot from Gambin goes in. Right off the draw. And 17 seconds in, the captain has things evened up here at the Apple Dome. Now we're back to center ice. The Wildcats with the face-off win. It's back to Thompson. He'll chip one to the wall. Van Polke sends it further up to center, but DeBay is held up at the line while Terrace picks it up. Saucer pass ahead to McRae. Now Breen. Nolan Breen working in. He gets turned aside by Thompson. Now into the corner. Sends one to the front of the net. Back the other way goes Van Polke. He gets ran out of room by Matt and Blandon. And now Terrace with control. Drops for Breen. Breen trying to work in and make a move, but no good. But he'll get back in the corner. Now Terrace behind the net to Blandon in front, but a save by Pickram. Now to the point. Cameron across to Gambin. Gambin gets stuck up in the corner there. It's Breen who comes in to help, but Thompson able to clear this one cross ice, and now it'll get out to DeBay. DeBay makes a move there on Gambin. He's working in. Shot pad save. Now DeBay working in once more. He's got Gambin to beat, but Gambin, nice defensive play, able to ride him off into the corner. Now Nickerson. He's going to drive and throw one down deep into the zone. Now a pass over Aaron just gets chopped away by Cameron. He'll send it back down deep. Nickerson on it down there with Makinen. Makinen, quick pass out to center. Now Aaron comes in. He works offside. And that's just at the Wildcats line. 17:53 to go here in the second period. Thomas Gambin, the latest goal scorer, the captain of the Wildcats, evening things up. So we're back to square one. Shots 11-9 now for the Armada. And a face-off win by Zach Banks. Now Banks picks it back up, knocks it off the wall to Ketty. Ketty racing in there with McNeil. McNeil comes away with it. He'll backhand one up the wall, but Ringette able to send it back down deep. Now Makinen high off the glass, and that one goes into the Wildcats bench. We'll get a stoppage play here, 17:34 to go, and a face-off back down in the Armada zone. Now the Armada on the break. That shot goes over the net into the corner, and Maidman plays it back down into the slot area, and they score. This one goes into the back of the net. No sign from the referee, but it will be a good goal. Maidman leads the flyby, and that will put the Armada back up, this time 3-2. So a couple of odd bounces on the last couple of goals, but the Armada will take it for sure. The back off the draw. O'Leary working in. That pass is taken away there by Cameron. Now Chisholm behind the net. He's circling. Looks for an option. It gets poked back to the point. Now Lonergan, on the chase. And Gosling on the half wall will send one to the slot, taken away and put right back in by the Armada. Held in onside as well. Now a big hit down low. Chisholm running into Troop in the corner. Chisholm with it behind the net. Now he'll try and find a man and wrap in front. But nobody home as Rowan Lonergan sends it down. Quickly played out by Pickram to Thompson. And now it's up. O'Leary working in all alone. And Maxwell with a poke check, and he makes no mistake there. Now Terrace. Up to Breen. Working in through center. Nolan Breen works in offside, and they'll call that right at the Wildcats line. 16:01 to go. So one of the affiliate players tonight, either Rowan Lonergan or Austin Robichaud, in for the injured Patrick Camo. He's sitting down to my left. Got the crutches with him, so it's looking to be a leg injury. Now the Wildcats win the draw, but the Armada able to break in as Surratt plays it up the wall. Slapped back in by Makinen. Now Cameron on the half wall. It gets back to the point, but chipped out, and Breen's got some time with one to beat. It's Makinen and Breen. Breen gets first control of that puck in the corner. Now McRae slides it back down on the cycle. Now Terrace with it. Terrace was stripped by Hackala. Now Surratt works out with Hackala, and Surratt scores! Hackala to Surratt, and this one finds the back of the net. The Armada restore that 2-goal lead that they had early in the first. And that will end the night for Jaron Maxwell. Owen Witter coming in to play hero tonight for the Wildcats. None of those goals Maxwell could have done too much about. But the Wildcats just need a fresh look here early in the second period. As Blandon sends his man into the wall. Now Nickerson on the attack. Running into Van Polge, still bump him. Now McNeil gets bumped, and the Wildcats looking to sustain some pressure and offensive zone time, along with some heavy forechecking. Now Stoddard across to Ringette. His shot goes just wide. Now McNeil up the wall to Creighton, and now it just gets to the red line. Bungay stops up and plays it back into the feet, and it's picked up by Ringette. Blandon sends his man to the ice. And now an icing call and a couple of penalties coming with it. No, there won't be a penalty, excuse me. I saw the referee's hand shoot up. So face-off back down in the Wildcats' end. Witter has yet to face a puck. And that was a close chance there for the first, but it bounces out past the line. Ringette plays it up to Blandon. Now Blandon will send it in. It's off a stick there at the bench, and Etheridge makes sure to finish his check there. We'll get some conversation around the Wildcats bench. Both teams working their way back out to the line. We'll get a face-off right outside the Armada zone. Banks and Maidman. The Wildcats put it into the zone, but it's quickly cleared. Back to Gosling. Now Troop puts one up the wall, tries to put an angle on it for Banks to pick it up, but it's into the skates and now tied up right along that Kings Mutual sign. Now a pass taken away by Ketty to the front of the net. Banks has a shot right off the pad of Pickram. Now back to Ketty. He just couldn't corral that one cleanly. Now it's back around the wall to Zach Banks. Down low to Pearl. Pearl, maybe a little stutter step there, caused him to fall, and now back to the point. Gosling puts it right back up to Pearl. He's got to wait for Ketty to get onside. Now Pearl into the corner. Almost a dangerous hit down there from Todd. Now gets back up to the point. The Wildcats looking for some offense, and now they'll get one. It'll be Foucher heading off for two, so the Wildcats will be on the man advantage. Their first of the game. Giving Owen Witter some time to get warm down there in that crease. Still yet to face a shot, Witter is. Now on the power play, Terrace trying to make some magic happen down on the cross seam pass, but now it's turned away. And this one will be sent down into the bench out of play. So we're going to get face off back down in the Armada zone. Terrace, Breen, and McRae. And that pass across with the shot just off the knob of the stick area into the netting. Now Banks, Ketty, and Pearl coming out with Stoddard on the point with Gambin. This one comes back to the defensive zone. Gambin has that one roll off his stick. He'll collect it and go cross ice to Pearl. Cohen Pearl tries to chip one further into the zone. He gets ridden off the puck by Bungay, but Gambin picks it back up. Thomas Gambin. Back down in the corner now. Ketty, cross ice at the point. Into Stoddard. Stoddard. And that pass gets picked off by the stick of Brady. And now it's back 200 feet with 50 seconds to go on the Wildcats power play. Peyton Ketty will start the breakout. He gets the hash marks, drops, and hits a skate. It's back into the corner. Now a quick pass out front. Pearl was backdoor, just went under his stick. Now Gambin. Back up to Pearl. Down low to Gambin. Gambin trying to work in front, make a move, but had a man all over him. Now gets to O'Leary, and O'Leary able to clear it back down the ice. 20 seconds to go here on the power play. Witter leaves it there for Blandon. Blandon will drop it for Pearl. And away goes Cohen Pearl. 5 seconds left on the power play. Now a pass across Nickerson on the one-timer. That one just rolled off the heel of his stick. And now a backhand in front. This one will come back out to the point. We're back to even strength. Now Blandon goes cross ice. Shot goes in. Turned aside by Pickram. And now Hackala away. Joel Hackala working in his shot high over the netting up almost into the press box. And we'll get a face-off here. 10:40 to go here in the second period. Shots now 15-12 in favor of the Armada. A power play unsuccessful for the Wildcats, but lots of chances. And the best one might have rolled off the heel of Braden Nickerson's stick. Now Thompson picks it back up. Lonergan can't get a hold of that one, and it'll be offside right at the line. So the face-off will move down right outside the Armada line. Hackala and Nickerson on the draw. Hackala wins that one. But the Wildcats able to send it right in. Hackala makes a move, puts it up the wall to Chisholm, but it's held in by Gambin, and now Robichaud tries to hold that one in as well, but it just gets sent out. Now an interference at the line, but no call. Now Robichaud back down low to Lonergan. He'll leave it there for Nickerson. Chisholm on the half wall. Plays it back to Thompson. He'll lift a high riser out to the point. Gambin unable to corral that one. Now it's back to Cameron. He'll send a long shot down. No icing on the play as Makinen gets back there. Now Thompson. He'll play it up the wall to Chisholm into his feet. He's got to look out. Now Etheridge plays one hard off the glass and back out to center. Robichaud has it in his feet. He'll collect it, go for the change. Now Etheridge on the forecheck. Banks works in. Leaves it there for Etheridge. Etheridge looking for some help down there as he's got Hackala all over him. Pickram plays it to the corner. Hackala getting a penalty call now against Etheridge. Etheridge just got to keep his cool before it turns into an unfortunate situation for the Wildcats. So it looks like a holding call to Hackala will come. Not sure if that will be the only penalty. Hackala and Etheridge jawing at each other. Etheridge makes his way back to the bench. And Hackala to the box. So what that tells me is the Wildcats are going back on the power play here with 9:09 to go. They'll send out Cameron McRae with Nolan Breen and Jack Terrace, along with Taylor Stoddard and Thomas Gambin at the point. Now Gambin at the point. He's looking for a man walking through. Nobody had a stick in a lane. Now Stoddard. Cross ice to Terrace. Back to the point to Gambin. Now Terrace trying to walk in and find a lane. But the Armada know how well he can shoot that puck. Now Stoddard jumping in backdoor to Terrace. This one just goes wide. Now Terrace picks it up behind the net. He's going to circle and make his way back to his office. Now McRae looking to go cross ice. Forces that a little bit. This one going to be capping at the line. Now McRae again. Back to the point. This shot goes in. Gloved by Pickram. And he'll make the stop. 1:14 to go here on the men advantage. And 8:23 left to go in the second period. Shots now 15-12 in favor of the Armada. We'll get a face-off down to the left of Austin Pickram. Zach Banks, Peyton Ketty, Cohen Pearl with Colby Troop and Patrick Gosling. And this one gets by the skates of Gosling down to Witter. Now Troop leaving it there for Pearl. He's going to make his way down the ice. Cohen Pearl through center. He gets bumped, but Banks able to get to the puck first. Now pass back to Troop at the point. He's going to spin. Back cross ice. Now it's down low. Back to the point. Troop has a shot. That one fanned on. Now Banks, he rims this one around the glass. Gosling has to go back and chase with 30 on the clock for the power play. Gosling stops up and he gets rammed into the boards. That's a big hit there. Not something you want to see. Gosling looking like he'll be able to get up on his own. Gosling is up back to his own 2 feet. Fougere will head back to the box for the second time tonight. And good to see Patrick Gosling back to his feet. So we'll await the call. Only a 2-minute call, probably a boarding. Didn't quite catch the sign on that one, but I would imagine a boarding call was the case. So 5-on-3, this could be a turning point for the Wildcats. It's a huge power play. 23 seconds of 5-on-3 time. If they can make a play, maybe get one to Pearl on the back door. We'll see what they can do. McNeil looking to kill as much time as he can. 2 Wildcats in there with him, trying to break that puck free, and they do. It's back to the point to Stoddard. Stoddard has a shot go through this one. Turned aside by Pickram, and it'll be knocked back down the ice to Witter with Hackle stepping out of the box. Back to 5-on-4 with 1:30 to go. Stoddard drops it back to Gambin. Now he'll get the line and send it in. Ketty on the half wall, met by McNeil. Plays it back. Stoddard trying to gain some space in front. Banks was wide open, just couldn't get a stick on that one. Now Ketty gains it back at the point to Pearl. Pearl looking to go cross ice. Ketty, now Gambin. Gambin back cross ice. Ketty was changing, but back on comes Jack Terrace, probably the most dangerous Valley Wildcat on the ice. Terrace runs his man into the wall. It's knocked back out front. A chance just wide, and now Stoddard gets it. Stoddard back to the point. Now Pearl sends one to Terrace. Now Gambin at the wall to the middle. It skips over the stick of Madden Blandon, and that will just about do it here for the Wildcats power play. 15 seconds to go. Maybe one last rush here for Jack Terrace. Can he do what he did in the first period? Now Terrace on the half wall. He gets ran from behind. A little bit of a shot to the numbers. No call for the referee. Now Gambin, as both teams back to even strength, goes cross ice. It's off the stick of Terrace into the corner. Now Blandon unable to make a move. It's poked away, and Witter will come out and corral that one back up the wall, but he's got to be quick with it. O'Leary was lurking in front, cleared away by the stick of Jaden Etheridge. So with 5:11 to go here in the second period, a 4-2 lead for the Basin Armada after a quick start to this second frame for them. 15-13, still the shots. So Owen Witter still yet to face a shot in this hockey game. Now Lonergan gets that puck. He'll chip it to center with Robichaud all over it. But it's back up the wall. The Armada away. O'Leary chips at that. Robichaud gets it and sends it in. He'll be knocked off the puck. Now Mackin in the corner. Lonergan gets to that one first. Plays it back around to Banks. Banks to the slot to Robichaud. Robichaud's shot goes off a body in front. Now Robichaud able to stay on that one and play it in. Brady chips it in to the Wildcats end, and Witter will cover up right behind the net. 4:28 to go here in the second frame. Nickerson and Maidman on the draw, and that one's won by Nickerson. Maidman sends a shot onto Witter. He'll close that one off and shut the door, making his first save of the game. Owen Witter. Making 2 stops. They registered that as 2, so 17-13 the shots. Now Maidman and Nickerson, a couple number 9s back on the draw. Maidman wins this one to the half wall. Now it's back to the point, but Blandon gets his stick on that one first. Plays it to center. Now a high flip. Aaron racing after that one. He sends his man to the ice. That was Troop. Now Maidman on the attack. He'll put a body down on Troop in the corner. Now Nickerson comes in to help out. A penalty going to be coming on the play. And now for Wildcats going after Aaron. Gosling and Fougere making dinner plans down there as well, so looks like they might head off themselves. Yeah, so there goes Fougere back to the box for the third time this game, second time this period, along with Patrick Gosling. A couple of offsettings there, but a penalty coming to the Armada. And that's, it looks to be number 19 up on the board. It is. That'll be Aaron in the box. We'll await the call on that one. So the Wildcats with their third power play of the period, can they finally convert? They'll send out Cameron McRae, Nolan Breen, Jack Terrace, Patrick Gambin, or Thomas Gambin, excuse me, and Taylor Stoddard. Now a chance in front on the back door, saved by Pickram, and now he's going to glove that one down and cover up the rebound. 9 seconds in, the Wildcats already able to muster up some offense on this power play. They've got a very east to west approach on this power play, looking for that man, especially if it's Jack Terrace there on the half wall. They'll try and feed one through all day to him. Now the Wildcats win that face-off. It's going to be Stoddard first on the puck, keeping it in. Now McRae back to the point to Stoddard. Across to Gambin. Now backdoor. McRae had that one jump off his stick. Now McRae back to Stoddard at the point. He's going to send one quickly across to Gambin. Gambin spins, plays it down low to Terrace. Terrace looking for an option. We'll try and get it cross ice. Now Terrace working in. That shot up onto the running track, and we'll get a whistle. You can see the Wildcats trying to open up that far side, trying to draw it all the way across to Stoddard, and then go quickly back up top to the quarterback Gambin to feed Jack Terrace. But the Armada all over that so far. Hakala and Breen, or Banks, excuse me. Oh, that is Breen. My bad. Now it's back to Stoddard at the point. His shot just wide. Picked up by Terrace. Down low. Back up to Terrace on the half wall. Puts one back out to the point. Stoddard just able to corral that one. Now Terrace gets a cross ice feed just out of his reach. 45 to go here on the penalty to Aaron. Now Gambin leaves it for McRae. McRae's got speed down the far side. McRae evades the hit from McNeil. Down low. Will go back to the point, out of the reach of Gambin. Now 20 seconds of pass. Quickly up to Ketty. Ketty's got a man breaking in. Couldn't feed him. Now cross ice. That shot back to Ketty. He's got room in that one just off the glove over the net. What a chance there for Peyton Ketty to get the Wildcats back within one. Now Ketty gets the return feed. He's going to look for a man backdoor. Sends one cross ice. That one's off the stick of Banks. He'll play back up the wall to Ringette. Ringette to Pearl. Pearl sends a shot through along the ice. And now it's Banks working in, spins off the check from Thompson, cross ice, and now it's back down low to Ketty. Now Pearl working in on the half wall. He'll collect that one. He's getting pressured there by Surratt. Now Surratt's away. Surratt working in. Pass across, taken away now. The Wildcats back on the offense. Banks will leave it there for Cameron. and that'll go the length of the ice. And we'll get an icing call. 1:13 to go here in the second period. 4-2 the score in favor of the Basin Armada. 17-15 the shots. Owen Witter coming in relief of Jaron Maxwell. Witter so far in this one only faced 2 shots since coming in. O'Leary and Banks on the draw, and O'Leary wins it to the half wall. These Armada centermen must practice face-offs, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now O'Leary on the half wall trying to put it past Banks. Across ice feed for Ringette, and now Banks back on it. He's working up. He's going to drag, shoot, and that one's right on. Pickram says no problem. It's right in the breadbasket with 46 seconds to go. We'll get a face-off to the right of Austin Pickram. Nickerson and O'Leary on the draw. It's won by O'Leary. Back around the wall, and Nickerson will send his man to the ice. A big check there from the Wildcats forward as the Armada work in. That was too wide, and Seth just over the net there for O'Leary. Now it's back out to the point. Sent back in, and that's into the netting, so we'll get a stoppage of play. 21 to go here in the second period. 3 power plays in the period for the Wildcats, unable to convert on any of them. With lots of glorious opportunities, but no puck in the back of the net. This face-off won by the Wildcats a little bit too cleanly as Owen Witter comes out to play it out to the half wall. It's picked up by Gosling and sent right back into traffic. Shot coming in from Maidment. Gets cleared, and now it's back into the corner. Witter able to poke that one away from trouble as well. And that'll do it here in the second period. The Basin Armada lead the Valley Wildcats 4-2 through 40 minutes of play. Stick around for the third period. We've got much more where this came from right after this.
Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cast. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple. Tonight's stream is brought to you by John Ross & Sons, Atlantic Canada's scrap metal pros. Cleaning out the garage, job site, or shop, Turn your steel, copper, and aluminum into cash. Drop off at their HRM locations or book a convenient bin for bigger hauls. Family-owned, environmentally responsible recycling that keeps our community clean and jobs local. Visit jrsons.ca and tell them High Button Sports sent you. John Ross & Sons, scrap metal made simple.
Well, a couple laps on the Zamboni from Mitchell Best, and we're all ready to go here for the third period at the Apple Dome between the Basin Armada and the Valley Wildcats. Through 40, the Armada lead the Cats 4-2. Now the Wildcats with possession in the offensive zone. It gets turned around by Fougere and sent back down the length of the ice. That'll be an icing call. So 19 seconds in, we'll get a penalty or a face-off back down into the Armada zone. Face-off will come to the left of Austin Pickram. He's turned away 14 of 16 tonight. Now Bungay rims one around the wall. That one's kept in by Gammon at the point. Now Mackinnon spins and puts one off the wall for Fougere. Fougere gets bumped lightly there, but a backdoor pass and they score. That's the second of the game for Maidment on a beautiful backdoor pass from Fougere. And the Basin Armada extend their lead to 3 here in the third period. Face-off won by the Armada. Thompson will throw one up the line. Looks to go back to Todd. Lyndon Todd, cross ice. He'll put one out of the reach of everybody. It'll go the length of the ice, but Witter out to play it will negate the icing. Now Banks looks to chip one. Doesn't get too far. And now Witter has to block her one out of the slot. It's picked up by Peyton Ketty. Ketty gets the zone. He'll send one to the front of the net. Banks on the rebound in the half wall. Knocks it back around to Ketty. Ketty will send it back down low to Pearl. Pearl on the attack there, but Hakala will get control for the Armada. Now it's Sebastian Surratt walking in. It gets back to the point. A long shot in. Goes high and wide from Todd off a stick. Now Thompson unable to keep that one in. It gets picked up by Colby Troop. Troop goes through the neutral zone. He takes a tumble there, and now it's back into the possession on the stick of Lyndon Todd across to Thompson. Thompson goes up the wall to Brady. And Brady plays it across to O'Leary. Now working in at center are the Armada, but it's taken away in a pass ahead from McRae. It's just out of his reach, and that one will go back behind the line. It's an icing call on the play. So the face-off coming back down into the Wildcats zone to the right of Owen Witter. Witter still only faced 4 shots so far in this one. He's got to be a little bit cold, especially coming in midway through the second. This face-off won by the Wildcats, knocked around the wall. Played back to Cameron. Now it's Saris. Picked up by McRae. McRae will send it back around to Troop. Troop, it's Terrace through the middle, but it's taken away, and it gets to O'Leary. O'Leary working in. His shot off a pad, and Witter able to cover that one up in front. 17:08 left to go here, so the Wildcats will need to get something going soon if they plan to get back into this one. Face-off won by the Armada to the half wall. Creighton plays it down for DeBay. DeBay circling around, tries to go back in front to Creighton, just out of his reach. Now it's up the wall. Wildcats trying to get something going. Lonergan worked in offside from the pass from Banks. Now DeBay making a couple moves down there in the defensive zone. Almost taken away. Now Robichaud has it in the slot. Lonergan spins, shot. That one blocked in front. Now it's up the wall. Creighton plays it to center. Lonergan chasing after that one. He'll put it back down deep into the defensive zone for the Armada. They'll look, and Robichaud with a chance in front. Point blank from the slot will send it over the net. What a way that would have been to get your first U16 goal for Austin Robichaud. Now Robichaud again, he'll make a move, evade the hit there from DeBay, and now DeBay gives him a bump. Now it's out to center. DeBay had that stretch pass knock off his stick. Now he's into the corner. Gammon gives him a bump. Working in 1-on-5 is DeBay. That pass taken away. A big hit there. Working in was Aaron with the knee, and we'll get a penalty here. DeBay giving a couple shots down low. Lots of extracurriculars. These teams might not be the most fond of each other. So Aaron will go off for the penalty. That's his second of the game. The Wildcats will need to convert on this one. They're 0 for 3 so far tonight. Terrace, Breen, McCrae, Gambin, and Ringette. The 5 out there for the Wildcats. Maidman, Fougere, Todd, and McNeil defensively out to kill it. But a 4-minute kneeing call will send the Wildcats to the power play for at least 4 minutes. Now McCrae getting worked down there by McNeil. A shot out to McCrae just goes wide. Now Terrace going to collect it on the half wall. Ringette picks it up. Goes down to Terrace. Terrace working in. Fanned on that one, and now it'll get cleared down the ice. Terrace had the lane he wanted. Just fanned on that one. Now Ringette leaves it there for McCrae. McCrae goes cross ice to Breen through his feet, and Maidman sends it right back down the ice. Ringette has Fougere on him. Gambin's got to quickly pick it up and make a move. He goes cross ice to McCrae. McCrae gets the red line, and Terrace drops for McCrae. And this one sent right back down the ice by Maidman. One more time. Witter out to play it. Now Breen on the half wall. He's going to chip it back. And now Nickerson keeps it in at the blue line. Will make a play, but it's right on the stick of Thompson, who sends it down the ice. Almost the full 2 minutes of this 4-minute double minors at Iron have been cleared off and killed by the Basin Armada. Now a pass around the half wall. We'll get to Bungay first. Now back down to Banks. Banks in the corner, stops up. Makes a move. Banks at the slot, walking in, saved by Pickram. Good work there from Zach Banks to lock in, send a shot on net. Just not enough mustard on that one. Nobody in front, so no traffic for Austin Pickram. He was able to pick that one up off the blade. Now we're going to face off back down in the Armada, and it's won by the Armada as McNeil sends it around the ice, and that'll waste some precious seconds here for the Wildcats. Witter plays it around the wall, and now O'Leary back out to center, but now McRae intercepts and picks it up. McRae around the wall. Back to the point, it rolled off his stick. Now Terrace one-timer, that one pad save. That was the play they were looking for all night long. Now a penalty coming to the Wildcats. That'll negate the rest of this power play. And Taylor Stoddard, the recipient of this one. So he'll go for 2 or less to the box. We'll have some 4-on-4 action for 1:14. Nickerson and Banks out here offensively for the Cats. But DeBay wins that draw. Back to Van Polgeest. He looks cross-ice, tried to hit McNeil there. McNeil plays it back down. And tried to hit Mackinnon. And Mackinnon just out of his reach. He couldn't get control of this one. Now back to DeBay. DeBay up the wall through neutral ice. A shot on. Saved by Witter. A hot snapshot off wing from DeBay. That's the 21st shot on net. Shots 21-19 in favor of the Armada. So the Wildcats inching closer. Just need to get one to go by Austin Pickram. Now Troop picks it up. Goes to the half wall, and now Jack Terrace is away. He's going to stop up at the blue line. Didn't like what he saw. Terrace working in one more time. Drops for Banks down to Terrace. That one's just over the net. Now Gosling tied up at the line, unable to keep it in. Terrace working back to Bay. 1-on-2. Now Terrace strips to Bay of that one. He's working in. Poked away by Bungay. Now Bungay quickly up to Van Polgeest, and that's stripped by Cameron. Here go the Wildcats. Working in, a shot turned aside by Pickram. Now Terrace on it. Looking for an option. Plays it back up the wall. Wildcats short-handed now. But Terrace looking to get something going. He's been hot all night. He's tied up down low with Todd. Now the Armada working back down. It's O'Leary. Shot on. That one off the stick of Witter. Now Bungay looking cross-ice. His pass a little too hot for Chisholm. Now Chisholm picks it back up. He's circling around the top of the zone. Sends a backhander through, and that one's turned aside. Witter getting the best of that one. Now Gambin going to be first to that puck. He chips it to open ice. Now Banks has a lane. He'll send it down. That one just gets to center. Both teams back to even strength. Now Bungay sends a long shot in on Witter. This one turned aside. Etheridge working in on O'Leary. O'Leary chips it in. Now Cameron picks it up down low. It's put up the wall, and Bungay slaps one on net. Blocked, and now working up is Braden Nickerson. He'll send one into the zone. Picked up by Etheridge. Penalty coming to the Armada. Etheridge working in. This one gets put through the crease. And an interference call working in, and we'll see who gets this one. Looking like it will be Brady heading off to the box. So back out on the ice comes the Wildcats power play unit. We'll see if they can get anything going. Jack Terrace not on the ice for this one, so it'll be Ketty, Banks, and Pearl. Face off too early. We'll get a restart on that one. Ringette and Stoddard on the back end. Maidman in there taking the draw for the Armada. He's been hot in the spot all night. And he wins this one again to the half wall, and it's sent around, kept in by Zach Banks. Banks down to Pearl, back quickly up to Ringette. Nobody in front for the Wildcats. Going to need some shots, need some traffic in front of that net. Got to put a couple bodies in front of Austin Pickram because he's had wide open lane to that puck all night. Now McNeil rides Pearl into the boards. He's content just to kill some time as Ketty picks it up. Pearl looking for his stick. Ketty out front, pass for Ringette. That one just goes wide. Now Pearl gets the rebound shot, turned aside by Pickram. Now Makinen on the backhand. He's going to lift one out to the line. Kept in. Now Ketty with a one-time shot. That one goes wide. Ringette didn't walk in on that one, but Banks able to keep it in. Now cross ice again. Ringette going to be the recipient of this one. Drops it back down. And Ketty goes cross ice. Stoddard with time. Down to Banks, and that one out of his reach. It'll get cleared down the ice by the Armada. 50 seconds to go here on the man advantage. 9 and change to go here in regulation. Now McRae drops for Stoddard out of his reach, and he'll have to reset cross ice. Now it's up to McRae. He drops for Breen. Down to McRae in front. That one just goes wide. Now Gambit on the half wall drops back for McRae. It's out of his reach, and Thompson pits up. And this one sent the length of the ice by the Armada. Witter will leave it there for Madden Blandon. Blandon working up to center. Gets the line and sends it in. McRae first on it. Down in the corner is Terrace. Now McRae crisscrossing with Terrace. Terrace will send it back to the point. Gambit sends a shot through. That one blocked. Now it's put back down deep. Thompson covers up. And he'll put it up the wall. McRae picks it up at center. Going to work back down to the wall. He's put back into the boards, and another penalty coming here for the Armada. Gambit puts it up the wall. Wildcats have to be careful here. And that'll be touched up at the line as Witter makes his way off. It'll get caught in some skates, but a penalty coming, a crucial penalty. I know I called that earlier penalty a crucial one. If this one is even more crucial here for the Wildcats. Down 7:42 to go, down 5-3, or 5-2. Unable to convert yet on the power play of the Wildcats, but they'll look to change things here. Face off, won by the Cats, but Fougere first on it. He'll send it deep. Witter out to play it for Gosling. Up to Banks. He's going to take the ice he's given through center. Now Banks working in. Shot saved by Pickram. But a nice job by Banks to get in, get an offensive zone draw, and get things started. Blandon and Troop coming back out here on the point. Shots all even at 24. This one rimmed around the wall by McNeil. Doesn't get out. Blandon lunges at that one out of his reach. Now Stoddard will come back to pick up for the Wildcats. He's got a man all over him. That's Maidman. Stoddard cross ice on the backhand. It's worked in by Banks. Taken away, and now back to Blandon. Pearl. Sends one cross ice. It's out of the reach of the Wildcats. Maidman will play it back to center. Now Blandon once more. Cross ice pass taken away by Todd, and he's got a man on him, and Pearl first to that puck. Banks calling for a change. Through center ice goes Pearl. He'll make one more move. Pearl pressuring Todd down there. 30 to go in the power play. Terrace out to Breen. Back to the point to Cameron. Cameron cross ice. Back door for Breen, and that one just rolled off the heel of his stick. That east to west action happening once again on the power play here for the Wildcats. Now at the top of the circle, that shot goes up into the netting. And we'll get a face-off. 12 to go on the penalty. 5:54 in regulation. If I was handing out 3 stars in this one, the first one is going to Austin Pickram. Now the Wildcats back of the point. A shot from Cameron gets turned aside by Pickram's pad. And now here go the Wildcats again. It's Terrace working in, tries to throw one cross ice off a stick, but kept in by McRae. McRae with a man on him. Didn't really realize how much pressure he had. Now Gambin trying to send one through, and that one will be an icing call. The Wildcats now leading 25-24 in the shots department. Don't know if that matters much at this point of the game for them. They're just trying to get anything through past Pickram. 5:26 to go. Breen and DeBay on the draw. Breen wins it back. It's sent out to the line. Pass Thompson. Terrace has got to race after it. Terrace first to it. Jack Terrace sends it back into the corner. Now DeBay picks it up. McRae in there, and the Wildcats looking to get something going offensively, and another penalty called coming. Head contact. This one going to be handed out to Thompson. So Thompson in the box. We'll see if it's a 2 or a 4. Just a 2. So back on the power play go the Wildcats with Blandon, Nickerson, and Etheridge. So an unconventional power play unit here for the Wildcats, with Ringett and Stoddard at the back end. A couple of battles going down along the end wall. McNeil doing a great job of holding that one. Now Etheridge working in down low. He's got his man wrapped up. Some good work down there by the Armada. This Lyndon Todd killing that one off. Tons of time gone off this penalty. Now it's back to the point. Ringett sends a shot through, blocked in front. Now a high stick called. That'll come outside. With 4:14 left to go in regulation. 1:09 on the penalty to Maidman. Or Thompson, excuse me. Now Lonergan and Robichaud out there with Terrace. Now Robichaud will work it down the line. Gets cleared once again by Bungay. Witter out to stop it. Stoddard starts the breakout up to Ringett on the half wall. Cross ice. Lonergan leaves it for Robichaud. He'll work in. He'll send a shot. That one's up into the cage. And we'll get a stoppage of play. Terrace working in on the draw here for the Wildcats. Surratt will work in on the draw for the Armada. Surratt wins this one. A penalty call coming here to the Wildcats. A tripping call off the draw. And that'll be Jack Terrace. So some extracurriculars going on here. Robichaud in the middle of it. Robichaud giving some gestures back to the Armada. He'll pick up an unsportsmanlike. Terrace going to be sent back to the dressing room here with 3:30 to go. So Jack Terrace has been sent back to the room. Austin Robichaud with a unsportsmanlike call. Looking to see what else comes out of this one. There was the original Wildcats tripping call. That was going to Terrace. So they'll need someone to serve Terrace's penalty. So while things are getting settled and figured out here, we'll use this time to let everyone know that there's still some action going on from the sandbar. Over in Summerside, the rest of the crew over there at the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Showcase. And right now, the Cape Breton Lynx and the Fundy Kraken should be somewhere near the end of the first, start of the second. That game started at 9 o'clock. And once again, we thank you for tuning into High Button Sports on this Friday night. I'll be back on the call tomorrow in Halifax at the Civic Center when the Rangers take on the Wolverines. And then I'll have the call from the Greenfoot Energy Center in Moncton on Sunday at 1 o'clock for the second game of the weekend swing between the Fundy Thunder and the Moncton Thunderbirds. Now Nickerson heading back to have a word with the referee. Etheridge and Nickerson out there for the Wildcats with Gosling and Troop on the back end. Bungay, Chisholm, Mackinnon, and Surratt out there for the Armada as things still getting figured out here. Penalties up on the board. 2 for Terrace and 2 for Robichaud, with an extra man serving the penalty for Terrace as Terrace was sent to the dressing room. Not sure who's in there in the box for Terrace. And then, of course, Thompson serving that penalty that he was assessed a couple of minutes ago with an extra man in there alongside it. So 5-2 lead for the Basin Armada, 3:31 to go. The face-off will come down to the left of Owen Witter. Mackinnon and Bungay still having some words with the referee out to center ice as Nickerson makes his way to join the chat. Referees are all back in position. We'll get set for this face-off, and it's won back to the point by the Armada. Bungay chips down to Chisholm, and now this one gets out of the zone. Now a Long pass up intended for Etheridge. Out of his reach. Played around the other side of the net by Pickram. Nickerson working in. He'll get a shot off from his knees to the side of the net. It's turned aside by Pickram as well. Etheridge comes in to help him behind the net. Now Nickerson as one penalty ends. So the only penalty up on the board now is the penalty to Robichaud as the penalty to Thompson expires. Wildcats shorthanded for 131. 3:02 left to go in the game. Face-off won by the Wildcats. It's Breen. Now Todd picks up the loose puck and skates it up through center. Little mohawk cross ice, and that one just out of the reach. Played back down the ice by Nolan Breen. Now Pickram out to play. It'll send a pass out to Surratt, up to Chisholm. Chisholm has it out of his reach. He'll go back to collect it and get ridden off into the boards. Now Gambin working in. Sends a bump into Chisholm. Gambin back down low will send one off the glass and down the length of the ice. Now Banks behind the net finds a man out of the top of the slot. That's Breen working in down to Banks. That one taken away, covered in front. That one knocked out of the glove. And now Aaron back down the ice. Into the middle, taken away. Now Gambin has that one. He plays it up the wall to Banks. Banks will send one down the length of the ice, killing off the last 15 seconds here of this penalty. Now out to center. Blandon first on that one, and so Lonergan serving that penalty. He's back out to the slot. A shot saved by Witter.
Wildcats penalty to number 2, Austin Robichaud. 2 minutes for slots and time penalty 16-28. And one penalty number 21, Basin. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike. Time of penalty 3:32.
So with 1:23 to go, we're back and we're set for this face-off. It's won by the Wildcats as Blandon gets his zone. Lonergan shot wide, and that one snagged by Pickram. So Rowan Lonergan and Austin Robichaud kind of all over this one, both spending some time in the box, both spending some time on the power play, and both spending some time on the starting line to start this one tonight. An eventful night for the U15 Bage Valley Wildcats that were called up here tonight. Now Creighton puts one up the wall, picked up by Stoddard. He'll go back up into traffic, but it's picked up and sent ahead for Lonergan. Ketty giving pressure there. He's gonna turn back, and this one's sent ahead by Bungay. Bungay runs into trouble there. It's helped into the offensive zone by Fougere. Now Creighton down low. Tries to feed a man in front, nobody home. And McRae gets center. Bungay kind of fell and almost had a little slide tackle there on Cameron McRae. Both players unable to come out unscathed. Now McRae working around the net, drops it back down out of the reach of Nickerson, but kept, oh no, it's offside at the line. That'll be called. So an offside with 10 to go. Ald sends it in, and That one will be corralled by Cohen. Pearl with 5. And that'll do it. Here from the Apple Dome, the Basin Armada reigned victorious over the Valley Wildcats by a score of 5-2. Like I said, there's still some action going on High Button Sports over at the Credit Union Center in Summerside. The Cape Breton Lynx and Fundy Kraken should be about midway through the second or just starting that second period now. So head over there to catch some U18 female action from the Apple Dome in Berwick. My name's Dayton Camo saying thank you, and we'll see you next time.